In 1 mile, turn left toward Atlanta.
Hello, I'm glad that you're here. You may have noticed I didn't post anything for the entirety of January, and that's just because I've been watching a lot of Michael Reeves videos and felt inspired by his upload schedule. But mostly it's because I've been traveling across the country with my mom. We've actually had this planned out since November of 2022, so I have just been stockpiling film in preparation for this trip. And in terms of cameras, I thought I'd bring the trusty old Mamiya RB67 and my brand new Nikon FM. So we packed up the car really early in the morning and began on our way. For the first day, we wanted to put a lot of asphalt between us and Atlanta. That way we wouldn't have to stop somewhere like Alabama. And we figured one of the coolest places we could stop would be New Orleans. I'm a big fan of jazz and shrimp, so I was pretty stoked to see it for the first time. The only downside to New Orleans is you have to get there, which means a very long, uneventful 7-hour drive through Alabama and Mississippi. But once my ass was numbed by the sweet roads of the South, we finally arrived at our hotel. I debated on what film to shoot in the city for a bit, but I ultimately settled on Cinestill 800T. I figured when night came around, it would look kinda cool on some of the signage in the French Quarter. And what can I say? I'm just a little Cinestill fanboy now. I was super eager to grab some shots, but we also hadn't eaten yet, so why not start at the origin of where I get my coffee from at Café du Monde. Newsflash, apparently the French subsist off of bread and bean juice alone, so we decided to try out a spot across the street. One beer and alligator sandwich later, and I finally broke the seal, pissing out this light-leaked garbage pile of a composition. But the good news is, it's the first of many, and it's statistically unlikely for every picture on this trip to suck, like the second one. It's nothing special, but it's chock full of that sweet, sweet halation. With the warm-up shots out of the way, it was time to head out for a walk around the French Quarter.
Welcome, America, to New Orleans, the cradle of jazz, where another jazz band calls
I gotta say, the French Quarter was something else. It seemed like every corner had some gorgeous architecture to offer or some kind of shady back alleyway that definitely was a vibe. I also got my first glimpse of a New Orleans jazz band, and holy shit, these guys were amazing. In fact, by the end, I couldn't hold the camera still because I was busting out my signature sidestep. But eventually I got tired of people trying to get me to check out their club, and I realized I had left my mom in the St. Louis Cathedral for like 30 minutes. So it was time to stop exploring and finally check out Café du Monde. I can't say why I took so much interest in this little cafe. I think I just liked the quaintness of sitting outside in lovely weather, drinking coffee, and snorting coke off a French donut. Okay, side cut, my mom wanted me to clarify that we did not do coke at a French cafe. It was powdered sugar, and there was frankly a little too much of it. Again, reiterating, no coke was done, and stay in school. So anyway, with nostrils packed with powder, we walked over to the Riverfront Park to take in an overview of Jackson Square and the Mississippi River. And instead of taking a picture of either of them, I grabbed a shot of yet another railroad crossing sign. But take my word for it, the moonwalk was pretty nice. Anyway, the sun was starting to set, so after a quick pit stop at the hotel, I decided to take a walk around the city and check out the Riverwalk for sunset. It was quite nice. I just sat there for an hour watching boats pass on the Mississippi. Also, the moon was out in full over the industrial district across the f***ing hell. The moon was out in full over the industrial district across the river, which did not come through on film at all, but I still think the sunset colors came through rather nicely. But enough of that peaceful nature bullshit. People come to New Orleans to party, and that's exactly what I walked off to do. Bourbon Street, The heart of the French Quarter, famous for its bars and strip clubs, and I didn't go into any of them. First thing, Bourbon Street is loud. It's just a ton of bass-boosted speakers playing the soundtrack of a trauma-inducing middle school pool party. Second thing, there is a lot of people there, and maybe 90% of them looked or acted intoxicated. But the one redeeming quality of it was all the neon signs. I gotta admit, I kinda dug the chaotic energy of the place. And if I wasn't so tired, maybe I would've hopped on the dance floor and, sidestepped a little more. Eventually though, I got a little tired of explaining my cameras to people, and I forgot to turn the mic on for this one, but some guy started flexing and screaming at me and told me to film him, so here's that clip. I took that as a sign to walk back to the hotel. Also, I wanted to save the last few shots of the roll for sunrise the next morning. So after enjoying another set of New Orleans jazz, I was safely back in the hotel room and asleep by 8 p.m. The next morning, I took my mom down to the Riverwalk since I had such a lovely time at sunset the night before. I think my synopsis is, the Riverwalk is just a nice place to watch any transition of day or night. It was a great place to fire off a few more shots as the sun came up over the Sip. I don't know, they're like a lot of other golden hour shots, great colors and the compositions aren't the worst, but I can't say I was feeling too inspired since I had already been there the night before. But as the sun came up, I realized there was an aspect of New Orleans I had yet to capture: the streetcars. You know me, I'm just a downright dirty dog for public transit, so I quickly ran over to the next street to capture them before the sunlight got too harsh. I kinda dig the results. I might have gotten a little artsy out of my depth with this particular one, but I love the nuclear holocaust halation in the final shot. And with the first roll of the trip spent, it was time to pack our bags, grab a quick breakfast, which was 10 out of 10 by the way, and say goodbye to New Orleans. I like this city a lot. The food was insane, and the music was top notch. Well, at least the live music was. The people were odd and super outgoing in a really fun kind of way. Kind of excited to try this town out again when I haven't driven 7 hours on the same day. Hi there. I don't normally talk to the camera in these videos, so I apologize for the awkwardness of it, but I just feel like it's been such a long time since I've uploaded that it warrants an update. So this is that. I don't live in Atlanta anymore. I now live in Los Angeles, and it took a lot to get here. I'm not gonna lie, and I have had no time to edit anything. But I have a mountain of footage that is just waiting to be received by your retinas. So that's all coming very soon, and I'm really excited to get it out. So to conclude, I live in LA now. I have a lot of footage. It's all coming out very soon. You should be excited. You should subscribe. And that's it. Bye.